Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. What a wonderful day we're already having. A wonderful people-centric Tuesday. So Monday was a strategic HR Monday. Today is a people-centric Tuesday. Tomorrow, I believe it's digital HR. We've also got C-Level Day on Friday as well. HR development also in there. So, we really have a bit of everything for everyone as well. And again, if you haven't already done so, let us know. We would love to know who's with us. We have our numbers. We can see roughly how many people are with us, but we would love to know who is with us. I'd love to know who's with us. So please, in the chat, let us know where you're from, where you are, what you're doing, what you think so far, and get this engagement going and moving forward as it's already been doing so already. Right, we move on to two words: talent attraction. I'm sure when I say those two words, everybody has their own ways of doing that, and maybe you're happy with those ways, but perhaps there are other ways, alternative ways that you may not know about right now, but by the end of this session you'll have maybe a clearer idea of perhaps some of the ways you'd like to try. Perhaps. Let's jump into that discussion. Let's jump into that healthy debate right now. I'm going to bring to the stage, to our virtual stage right now, the moderator who's going to shape this discussion naturally in the only way he knows how, beautifully, naturally, and that is talent acquisition and HR business partner from United Cloud, Mr. Vladimir Zdravkovic. Vladimir, are you there? Yes?
Yeah, hi Peter.
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm great, fine. And this was a really wonderful introduction from your side about this really interesting topic, which is talent attraction today. So I'm really happy to be here with you and to helping to my colleagues and panelists to share together the knowledge, experience, and a lot of ideas about the talent attraction.
Really
And
intrigued to
maybe
hear. Really intrigued to hear these alternative ways, these ideas that maybe we're not attuned to, maybe
yeah,
we haven't heard before. But let's see how this discussion goes. Remember, at the end, if there are any questions from our listeners who are curious, who want to pose their question, I'll come back on and ask those
yeah,
questions to your panel. So take it away, Vladimir.
yeah. Great. Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. I'm Vladimir. I'm HR business partner in United Cloud. So I'm really happy to be here. And my background is in talent acquisition. So I'm really glad we are speaking today about the talent attraction. And talent attraction today means always looking for some new approaches. And especially in the tech industry, making some difference is very important and could be very important to track the top talents. So today I have really great speakers. So let me to introduce them. Okay, we can begin from ladies first. So Emily Gibson is coming from North America. Hi, Emily. Hi, Emily is a strategic business partner for Tektronix, an industry-leading test and measurement company driven by continuous improvement and innovation. She's developed a unique skill set that connects the evolving talent landscape and how we shape organization through operational strategy, culture, and of course, how can we retain the talents. Emily, welcome and nice to meet you again. Angela is coming from the Schneider Electric. Angela, hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Angela is a part of HR team in Schneider Electric. She entered the IT community around 3 years ago, and during that time, her focus was on community and people development, change management, and project management. Her interests related to people development come from the Faculty of Philosophy, where she is currently doing her PhD studies. Angela, welcome to this panel.
Thank you. Thank you for the warm introduction.
Yeah, thank you. So, okay, let's go next. From InfoBip, we're having the Bruna. Bruna, hi.
Hi, hello everyone.
Hi, happy to have you here, Bruna. Welcome. Yeah, and Bruna started her HR career 14 years ago, leading HR team in IT and oil and gas industry, and is now back in IT, working as a senior people operations manager in InfoBip. You probably know the InfoBip, a global exponentially growing cloud communications company with over 67 offices worldwide and over 3,500 employees. her area of expertise is around building high-impact HR for changing organizations, like transforming, restructuring, and exponentially growing. So, Bruna, welcome again here to this panel.
Thank you for the invite, and thank you.
Yeah, and the last and not least, of course, the Bojan Rosic, who is lead technical recruiter and member of global talent acquisition at Microsoft. Bojan, happy to have you here. Hi, welcome to this panel.
Hi, everyone. Happy to be here. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, and Bojan has the various role in Microsoft Development Center, focused primarily on hiring engineers. And for 5 years, he led the team for employment, public relations, and IT community relations. For the last month, in the role of recruiter for engineering roles in Serbia, Greece, and the rest of EMEA region. So happy to have you here, Bojan. So,
likewise.
Yeah, guys, I mentioned that the talent attraction in tech industry could be very, very, very challenging. So, Bojan, let's start from you. What kind of challenges you're facing when it comes to talent attraction?
Thanks. I think there are many. That's what makes the job interesting for me. But the biggest one I'm seeing today is that the talent market is not expanding as fast as like the tech industry is. Every company sees their opportunities for creating new technologies, for tackling new projects. Big companies, smaller companies. Also, there is a lot of startups, investors, and investments are there. They're present on the market. And we're here basically to find alternative and new ways to attract talent. So we would enable ourselves to look for and include more people as potential new hires for our teams. That's how. That's the main challenge I'm seeing. Simply. The hypergrowth of the tech industry is faster than the growth of the talent market in these domains. Also, like one interesting challenge for me is like competition being higher than ever before in terms of competition for talent across the industry. Because what's here great for me, because you need to show the best of yourself every day at work to stay on top. That's the part I actually love about regarding talent attraction and acquisition today. So that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, I agree completely. Yeah, but some challenges, I think some challenges are brought by the COVID-19 pandemic, and this pandemic brought some challenges and maybe some new opportunities at the same time. So, Emily, what is in your opinion is different during this pandemic? Just Emily, I can't hear you. Yeah. Maybe to try with headphones or something like that. No, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Now it's great. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So what I've noticed that has evolved or changed is the renewed importance on communication. Proactive, consistent, and transparent communication is now just a minimum expectation, from the way a job description is written, the simplicity of the application process, through the interview and onboarding process. Talent wants to know that their time is being respected throughout the candidate lifecycle. That creates both a challenge and an opportunity for the HR community as we're building strategic advantages and driving digitization of our own practice. There's still a balance that we need to make on that increased attention to candidates. I think we have all seen communications that we send to applicants, whether it's a rejection email or how we're scheduling interviews. The talent on the market is being more transparent and posting those things. So whether it's good or bad, there is an extra focus on how we show up and how we communicate to talent more so than ever.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, but during this pandemic, I think the work from home or in the office became some question of all question, you know, and everybody is speaking about it. So, Bruna, how does it affect the talent attraction?
Well, I think that both COVID and the pandemic have affected so much that beyond our understanding at the moment even. But when it comes to talent attraction, I think the major shift has happened on an opportunity side, I would say. There is a lot of talk about great resignation. Obviously, that creates a headache for HR and for the companies. But on the other side, it's a great opportunity because that talent is moving around, and it's the moment when the best companies and the best employers are able to attract the best ones of them that maybe previously they could not even attract. So hybrid work or any other model of remote work has become something that is no longer a benefit you put in a job offer. Obviously, it's just the way we have to continue to work. We don't yet know all the aspects of it and how it will change our lives, but it's just inevitable. So the employers, the ones that are flexible, that can be flexible towards those who want to work fully remote, hybrid, or office, need to be able to offer that. And maybe just one point, since we're a global company and we have offices in 68 countries around the world in the metropolitan areas, what happened with remote way of work, it totally changed our talent pool. So instead of fishing in a smaller talent pool, we now fish much widely. And another aspect of it, it's good for the companies, but it's good for employees as well, because their talent can now be much better observed, attracted, and developed as well.
Yeah, thank you, Bruno. I agree. And Juan, you mentioned the competition, and competition it's really huge now on globally and probably on this region. So how we can make some difference, but the most some strategies for talent attraction lie in employer branding, obviously. So what is the difference, in your opinion, in tech industry compared to others? When we're speaking about employer branding, about just making some difference through the employer branding activity.
So I think, like in every industry where there is where there is when there's hard for employers to hire talent, employers need to deep dive into their employer brand to understand the internal perception of it, the external perception, and to figure out how to match these as much as possible, and to be that matching. I would say that's the case. But I don't have much experience with other industries. Obviously, I've been around in tech for quite long. I think it's simply it requires you to go and actually deep dive in every single aspect of your external perception and figure out what there is to be changed, like from a perception part, and what there is to be changed in the essence, because some parts obviously cannot be changed from a perception angle. I would never say that there's anything specific because I can anticipate and I can see that this is happening in all other industries which have problems hiring talent because there is not enough talent on the market. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I agree completely. Yeah, but when we're speaking about making some difference, the some unique value proposition can help us to make a difference and could be, I think, very powerful weapon for talent attraction. So Angela, what is, for example, for your company, what's your unique value proposition and why are talents choosing your company?
Yeah, so I'll start by saying that creating uniqueness in the IT industry is extremely difficult. For example, when we speak about benefits, things that are considered benefits in other industries such as health insurance, gym, meals, many days off, are now pretty much just hygienic factors for us in the IT industry. So when we speak about that, there are two ways we can go. We can either build up on the existing necessary ones, or we can be creative and try to find new fun stuff for the employees. And there is really no right answer on what would be right for the company. It depends on the culture you have or you want to have. And I'll touch on this later, but hearing your employees and your teams is the best way to tell which value proposition is the best one for you. Once again, I'll say that unique value proposition is not necessarily the best value proposition. It doesn't have to be unique, but it has to be the right fit for the company. For us, I'll say that we're currently in the sea of outsourcing companies, and we're the one with our own product. And that does offer some stability. Once again, it's not completely unique, but it's pretty important and rare here on our market where we are right now. We like to say that we're not just creating developers, we're also creating engineers. So programming knowledge is important, but it's not enough. We know that it's harder to develop engineers, not just programmers, but we see our people and we see that they take pride in that knowledge. So for people who are in love with engineering, they're usually in love with the jobs that we offer. So that's like something that's unique for us. What I'd like to mention is that we're on the market for a long time now. And as Bruna and Bojan and Emily all mentioned, we do have more competition, but we also, for example, have a very high retention rate. We have people who work here for over 10 years, which is pretty rare for the IT community. And that's the result of offering this type of stability that we have.
Yeah, great. And you mentioned the really important things, and we will go through the culture and the talent interaction. I think it's very related and it's very important to talent attraction strategies. Yeah, but we mentioned that the talent attraction today always that means that we are always looking for some new approaches and how we make some difference and how we provide some different approach to our potential talents. And some traditional approach, I think, has been abandoned in terms of for example, job ads probably don't work effectively now. And Emily, what is specific approach when it comes to talent attraction? And do we have some kind of the specific approach? Yeah.
Yes, I think as we just talked about employer branding, I think that is the foundation of what will help to influence talent to respond to you when you reach out. So that's really that needs to be a strong foundation for your strategy. Once you have that foundation, it's really coming down to the proactive networking and building a sourcing strategy to help uncover passive talent. The labor market is getting tougher for organizations. But I think that sourcing strategy and kind of the way that my organization approaches it really comes from getting involved in your local communities, being connected to diverse and inclusive organizations, building robust referral programs that have consistent follow through and communication. And what I've noticed in a shift during COVID is also sharing the successes from that on social media and building that brand is important. I think the other side of how you attract talent outside of job postings is how we assess talent. So there's a new need for interview panels and for leadership to be able to assess talent for the future and hire for potential, not just hire for what we need for today. So it changes the requirements that you look for. What do you need for the future versus what you need for today?
Yeah, I completely agree. We, for example, in United Cloud, we experimented with some new ways, to attract talents, because this is a very competitive industry, and tech industry here is very competitive. So we experimented with some new ways, for example, some Easter egg in the source of code or something like that. So Bruno, do we have some, let's say, funny ways to attract the talents?
Yes, I think in high-tech industry, we're trying to outsmart each other with the creativity in really getting us through to the candidates. Well, obviously, with the virtual events, for example, in Russia, where we have our engineering hub, we tend to do some creative ideas around how to organize the virtual conference. We put a code inside, like an Easter egg, and the one who cracks it gets to visit our campus in Vodnjan, for example, in Croatia, and these kinds of things. But I would say these are like creative things coming out of already known ways of how we kind of attract people and attract candidates. What's maybe a change, and we can do it because it's our product, and one of our products are chatbots as well. So what we started experimenting with chatbots as well, they came in just the right time when the candidates felt very far away from this employer because we're in a virtual environment. And then the chatbot can really initiate and kind of enhance this regular communication where candidates can ask questions about, what is InfoBip, how do I prepare for an interview, and so on. So I think this is as well one of the creative ways how to keep this conversation going in the selection process. But even we can think beyond that, even before there's an actual selection process, chatbots could do some work. So that's one of the ways too.
Yeah, I really like idea about the chatbot. So it's very sounds interesting. Yeah. So all you mentioned that company culture and retention, and Emily mentioned the diversity. It could be very important roles in some talent attraction strategy. So in this competitive industry, the talent retention could be very strong defensive line and help us to make some talent attraction strategies. So Bojan, how do you see the link between the talent attraction and retention?
I believe these two are in synergy. If I get hired by a company, my experience with that company as an employee started when they approached me or where I applied for the position. So having a positive talent attraction, I would say, experience also can influence my employee experience and enhance my experience there, and I would say motivate me to stay longer in the company and find new ways. Also, retention, I would say it's how you show up for job every day. I as a colleague, you as a manager, someone else as a peer, etc., etc. So retaining talent comes to it. How do we as a group show up every day, aside from some specific programs if they're necessary, etc., etc. But I think the core is how do you show up, how do you communicate, how do you value your colleagues, how do you help them, how do you how do you accept help from them, etc., etc. So that's these two are in synergy and they are fueling each other through time. There is no I would say clear cut which you can make and say they do not affect nor anything else.
Yeah, I agree completely. And yeah, that you mentioned that really can help us to shape some kind of a company culture. And we mentioned the company culture, and company culture has a really important role in, I think, in talent attraction. So Angela, how the culture could be the talent attraction strategy, and which that culture should be?
Yeah, so this is a pretty important topic. Nowadays, we can see many new trends arising when it comes to the culture, or not even the culture, but the way companies want their culture to be represented. We can hear the buzzwords like family, fun, energizing, dynamic, friendly, and so on when people are describing their workplace and their company. And it's not bad to be a part of an organization you can describe in this way, but I'll say that in many ways, it's not always achievable. And that can create a problem. If you put yourself out there in a way that you can't really sustain, it's maybe going to be good for your talent attraction. But the question is, will it be good to your talent retention? Because people will set some sort of expectations. The way you communicate your culture is what they will expect. I'll give us as an example. So we have over 1,000 people in our Novi Sad hub, and expecting everybody to be like friends and family, sending that type of a message would be, if not anything else, dishonest. When you put it on a lower level, on a team level, that's where the power of culture lays. That's where you see people being friendly. For example, when people leave our company, we hear people saying that the hardest part they are leaving is their team. So making that sort of message is communicating it well. And another problem is COVID, of course. With COVID, every culture is changing. So this is setting even more expectations when it comes to the culture. I also mentioned like showing the good sides and the bad side of the company, for example. And this can be very subjective because not everybody is going to search for the same stuff. When you communicate your culture, it's very hard to be liked by everybody. And we can see a lot of companies trying to adapt to each person because market really can be very rough. But as I said, that can contribute maybe to bringing people, but not permanently. So some sort of conclusion when it comes to the culture, that the culture should be what it is. So there's no recipe. There are values that each company sets and that you can promote. And they should be as close to the ones that your employees already naturally have. So in this case, honesty is the best policy, describing your team to the outside world the way it is.
Yeah, I agree completely. And Emily, you mentioned diversity, and diversity can be, I think, really a valuable part of some company's culture. Do you have some strategies in that field? Can you share something with us today?
Absolutely. I really believe that in order to increase diversity in your culture, you have to build an inclusive culture where everyone belongs, where you're free to speak your mind and be yourself, but feel supported. One effective way that we have seen to do that is through employee and friends resource groups, or EFRGs. EFRGs are a powerful tool to connect and learn more about change-making topics like code switching, how to be an ally, and how to challenge unconscious bias that you might have. When done right, I think organizations make the right space for employees to feel empowered to lead EFRGs that will build connection and community across borders. Another way, so that's an internal strategy, which has been really beneficial. Another avenue to build diversity or bring diversity into your culture is by creating partnerships with local chapters of professional organizations. Women in Technology is a globally known organization that helps to provide resources and connections and networking to up and coming diverse and female talent. And that's just one of many organizations, but within an organization, I think the most important one is having employees that are empowered to lead organizations or groups that kind of align with their passion and their enthusiasm.
Yeah, and I'm really glad to hear that you're having a really nice strategy about that, and internal and external. It's very great. And diversity today means attract the diverse talents, and diverse talents means to have some diverse strategies. And Angela, you told that you are stuck between the millennials and the Gen Z. And how do you see the impact of the generation gap, or maybe some different personalities on talent attraction? Or is it possible to, let's say, make some universal strategy for all diverse talents?
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite topics since I'm a psychologist, and as you said, a cusp of two generations. So the newest generation, the Generation Z, that's the upcoming one, is the idealist generation. They're focused on reputation of company a lot more. They want meaningful work, something that will contribute to the world. And believe it or not, they're more ready to leave if the work environment is not stable in any way that does not support their values. And for them, building a sense of community is more important than ever, which is pretty interesting considering the fact that remote work is also more present than ever. So we're going to have a big challenge there with creating a close-knit culture in a system where we're currently actually far away. I'll give a direct example from our own practice. So some things you can change. You can't put out different values for each group, but what you can personalize is the time and space to develop. So since learning is one of our key values, not only on paper, but something we really invest in constantly, we created many different ways you can go. And this has to do not only with generation, but with personality as well. For example, if you like to learn on your own, we offer platforms with all kinds of courses. If you want to be a part of a team, you can join any international project. And this is a big advantage of having over 100,000 people across the globe in companies. So if you want to find a mentor, it can be done across the globe. Finding a team can be done across the globe. We have created an AI app that helps you find and track the right opportunity for each person. So the platform helps you find the right mentor or project that fits your interest. It's like a dating app, but for career development. And it also helps with your career development in a sense that we always hear the questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, for example? And you can imagine and think about it. And this platform called Open Talent Market gives our employees many career paths they can take, and they can choose from there and kind of see where they can go inside our company. And besides this, we're kind of planning on more personalized approach when it comes to benefits, because we noticed that different generations want different benefits. For example, here we have health insurance, a lot of companies do, but we noticed that not everybody uses it because health system in Serbia is good. It's pretty much free, not completely, but it is. So not everybody has the need. So for the ones who don't really want to use that, maybe we can give them something that's hits closer to home for them. And once again, there is no universal strategy, because if you're a startup of 10 people, for example, if you're a small company, there is probably no need to make it as complex as opposed to having a huge corporation where you have to think in terms of VUCA, which is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And that's where we are at. And we're coordinating kind of our needs and our team with all sorts of stuff right now. So it's a big challenge, but it's also a big opportunity for everybody.
Yeah, great. That sounds really interesting. We're having a lot of ideas today. So, and probably everybody want to know what we can expect in the future when it comes to the talent attraction, and how the talent attraction maybe will look for next couple of years. So, Bruna, what's in your opinion coming next in talent attraction?
Well, in today's VUCA world, it's really hard. We now know that it's sometimes really hard to predict things. Nobody predicted COVID. It happened. Okay, some did. But I think what it will boil down is everything we've been talking about today as well. And it's about culture, engagement, the right messages. So we will digitalize more. Chatbots will come. Different channels of communication with the talent will come. But at the end of the day, we will have to come back to the bottom line and the key message we're sending. And it needs to be consistent across whichever channel, personalized channel, the candidate chooses. But it still needs to be the same and consistent. And I think what we've noticed, especially now in the COVID era, is that more and more candidates, they just want to talk to somebody from that company. Because of the explosion of employer brand, how much more we can do on the branding side. I think it's shifting the candidates back to the basics and really trying to understand what is this company that I'm actually, applying for. So I think instead of maybe focusing so much on the talent attraction strategies, of course, the marketing piece and employer branding will always be important. But I think a lot of activities will shift towards the culture, the engagement, diversity, and really making sure that you have a high engagement score in the company. I think for Infobip, this is like the major driver of the talent attraction too, because we have 90% of our employees are proud to work for this company, and it's a huge percentage. And then on top of that, if they share the values on social media as well, it's just that's it. It needs to kind of evolve in that direction. So yes, a lot of modernization, digitalization, new ways of communicating, but the messages, again, they need to be clear, consistent, and authentic.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I agree with Bruna with some future of the talent attraction. Yeah. Okay, guys. So maybe to call Peter with some maybe additional questions. Yeah, for these panelists, and I'm really happy to have a chance to speaking with you today about this topic, because it's very important, and we cover maybe the small things, but we cover maybe the what we can expect in the talent attraction in the future. So we spoke about the company culture, we spoke about diversity, we spoke about some new approaches and new way, and how the talent attraction will look like maybe for a couple of years. Of course, we mentioned the COVID pandemic, which is like now it's new normal, and it's of course to touch that part of this conversation. So thank you so much. I think we heard something new today, and we have some takeaway from this panel. So thank you for your energy. Thank you for your participation in this panel.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Vladimir, I'm sorry, we see some questions in the chat. Maybe we can answer them live.
Oh yeah, why not? Yeah. If you see some questions, I think we can cover some.
Yeah, I see that Leila asked the question, and she asked if we can answer it live, and it's a good question. It's about hygiene factors and how to break out of that bubble, and creating ways to attract and retain the talent. It's a very interesting question and a very hard one to answer, because if you, for example, I mentioned the generation gap. If you ask different generations, they're going to focus on different things. People who are, for example, parents and are in that life situation are not going to have the same answer as, for example, people who are just now entering the market. So creating that diverse possibilities is, I think, the answer, and having that flexibility. And not everybody is going to value the benefits that you offer. Filling out everybody's needs is sometimes impossible. You can't really fill everything, but you can focus on percentage. For example, ask the people directly and see what's the answer that you get from your own community, because not every company has the same culture and same values. So you might get some different answers. There are even some that are same for everybody. For example, if you use LinkedIn Insights, you get value propositions from people on the market. I'm not sure which number of people, but a lot of people said that 5 most important ones in Serbia, for example, are good work-life balance, excellent compensation and benefits, colleagues and culture, open and effective management, and challenging work. So if you fill 5 of those, you're probably going to be successful. Everything else is just a benefit.
If I can just add to that, Angela, I totally agree. I think the benefits is the next hot topic. I did not mention it, but it's not just related to talent attraction. It's related to everything. And whatever, as I said, was previously on your offer letter as a benefit no longer is. If I can share maybe just for the end what Infobip did this year, it's, I think, something that triggered quite a lot and totally changed our position in the market. So we offered the stock options for everybody. So for every new employee that enters our company gets a stock option, from the receptionist at the campus to the VP level. And I think that goes beyond benefits. It just totally changes the tide and puts you in another position on the market. So it's a combination of talent acquisition, working a lot with total rewards, and of course, having the opportunity to do something like that and be creative in how you shift your position in the market. It's extremely important.
Listen, I've been listening to this session, and I'm sure our viewers as well, naturally intrigued to hear everything that you've been sharing. Again, viewers, there's somebody, maybe all of our panelists here. If you want to know more, reach out to them over LinkedIn as well, and then keep that conversation going. And perhaps again, there might be something you want to collaborate on in the future. But all that leaves me now to say is thank you so much, Bruna, Angela, Emily, and naturally Vladimir for keeping this discussion light and moving well as well. So thank you so much. Thanks so much for your insights. But number one, thanks so much for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
So there we are again. As I always say, you know, as a speaker here in all the sessions, they will be delighted to know that you've enjoyed what they've been sharing, and also the insights they've been sharing as well. So again, reach out to them on LinkedIn. I'm sure they'll be happy to connect with you. And again, you never know when you may want to collaborate together in the future. You can even reach out to me if you want as well. You never know. We might be able to have a good fit as well in terms terms of storytelling for sales and helping you to share your messages or your teams in the right way with impact. Okay, what we will do now is, once again, we turn to the networking sessions, the sessions which give you an opportunity to really share your voice, your perspective, challenge others as well. There are 3 different options. So over at you'll find the button on your screen. You can see it's clearly button on your screen for networking sessions. Click that and you'll see 3 options. Choose one of those options, and then you'll find a moderator, a host will be leading that discussion forward, and together with others on the session, you can put forward your opinion and your perspective as well. After that, again, a little bit of time, about half an hour or so, for you to again maybe take a stroll, but not maybe outside, but here on the platform, a stroll. A virtual stroll. You can go outside if you wish, have a coffee, and then come back. You've got all day. I very much doubt there are many people that are here for the whole 5 days, 24 hours a day, other than the virtual people you see in the on the platform. They're here every day doing the same thing, and if you notice, they're wearing the same clothes every day. A little bit like me, although I do change my tie. I change my tie every single day. You'll see a different color every single day. So take a stroll around the HR Expo Zone area, and again, look and see what's really in it for you. Maybe you'll find, I'm sure you will find certain services, concepts, ideas that these companies are sharing that will be a good match for you. Book a meeting and then take that conversation forward. I will see you back here, right here with me, wherever you are in the world. I'm here beaming out of beautiful Belgrade. It will be back here at 3:25. In the meantime, enjoy your hour or so, whatever you wish to do with it. And I'll see you back here, as I say, for some more HR Week 2021.